Okay, people, look for my video titles. Champlain Towers collapse, punching shear already determined by NIST, and they destroy / trash evidence. Posted July 14th. Take note of number 39, 39 right here, 39, 39. Incidentally marked twice. And to the right of 39 is where the material was scratched off. The numbers were scratched off. That's as we look at the right of 39. When I show you on the map, it'll be to the left of 39. So no spacing, just right there from 39, right next to it. All right, follow that. Okay, so here we have number 39. 39 will be here. To the left of that, or right if you were looking down this way as the camera was viewing, it will be this pin right here. This is 41 and 42 spot. This is in front of 42. This jogs over. It's not direct. This jogs over to get to L. So that's a major jog over to get to it. All right, there's L. Now, there's a camera in this garage. As she comes down, she's looking, I think, down here. There's a camera down here looking down this garage this way. So L's kind of out of view of it. And there's possibly a camera down here when she turns, possibly right here looking down. I think I triangulated off of 55 or so. Yeah, that's 55. So the camera, I think, is roughly here looking down this driveway. This should be 30, the pin they were looking at, 42, 41. This is that drape area. They do have the camera there. They were supposed to have been fixed, and as I showed you in the previous video, repaired. So cameras were repaired, so I'm guessing that camera wasn't left out. If it was damaged, it was repaired, right? Considering they repaired them, because it says ED, past tense. With that, look at these circles I made around each pin to its closest next critical shear area, if you will. Its closest one would be, so from this pin it would be here. And then I drew a circle from there, and it matched up with that one, so it overlaps. So almost like half and half, but it gets nowhere near, it sort of clips, it gets closer to this one than that one, so this is closer to that one than this one. Now rebar direction counts, so the circles are just some thinking I'm doing. They're not fair to use. All right, but it's fair to use to just sort of, for my way of thinking, the way I visualize, and then I can go from there. This is my, so this is K, L, and M. So we follow K down. We get to the face of the structure. I always got to look for 16 by 16, or I get the face wrong. So there is a BMA between here and here, and then it turns here, and it's between here, and then steps across, and then between here, and this would be M. And that's M. So this pin right here is K, right? So there's K. There's K, and that's the front of K. That's the front of the building. The front of the building, that's the flower pot. As we turn, we hit the main structure. We turn again from this is 16 by 16, so that tells you you're at the face of the building. This is the next pin off of the building. Then there's one more pin, and then there's that jog over here before you get to the next one. This is the one that is pretty heavily loaded with vehicles to the side of it. This is the ground floor. So you'd have to do an overlay for the top floor, which we'll get to that. All right, so the distance between this wall and right there is 27 feet. I kind of want to talk to you real quickly about the other structure. Here's the other structure. The other structure has M. If you see M, I'll give you something else to think about. It's in line, with the pool. It's a shorter system. M over here does not align us with the pool. There's M, and the pool is significantly over. All right, so here's M. It's 19 feet over. Okay, so Bruce and George, they're right there below us. You heard them. They're just like playing around this around my drawings here. So let's focus back in on this. Again, this is the other structure, which they submitted as just a 1 because they submitted. Here we go. It's trying to find contrast. Okay, they submitted this as the 1, so I've gotten this confused a few times when I was doing the few of the videos I did. I actually used the wrong plans. This is the 112 unit, the smaller of the two structures. It's kind of still have the same layout. We still have a L column, right? There's L. There's K. That's the face of the structure. This time it shifts over from K. There's a shift. That's them. You heard them in the background. So over here, there might be, I put this in there, that might exist. It's in front of the driveway. The elevation changes. You know, this was quite confusing to me because I kept going from one drawing to the next, and things were quite discombobulated. That word, right? For me, I was getting played by the drawings. I kept getting different data that wasn't was not overlapping in my brain. It kept screwing up, and that's because I was looking at two drawings. And the overlap and the jogs drove me crazy because at one drawing I would see this, and then I'd come back and look at it later on, and then I'm like, I thought that was over there. And I'm thinking, what? This is in line here. It was driving me nuts until I finally figured out I'm looking at the other building. That it looks very close. And why are we talking about it now? Because the other building has a step up here from the garage up to here. So there is some type of beam action going on here to get that step up. And so I don't know where the step up is. There's the cars here. So somewhere they did some transfer beam here, or they didn't, and they just laid concrete on there. I don't know. I don't have the rest of the other drawings for that. But when I saw Papa Smurf doing his talking outside the other building, he was talking outside this building. I saw what appeared to be a ramp, almost like a piece of board that they just put from this deck down to the parking garage area. Not like a step. I recall it as a ramp. All right, back to this one. So there's your answer about the difference in the two structures. They're different. So NTSB took this one out. Right? This is the one they destroyed the evidence. I said they just went at it. This is my little token one. I say it's on a slant. And then when I look at my own video, I realize, I've already been down this path. Already realized it's not on a slant. Once I saw the video again, so yes, it's not on a slant. It was the lens. The photographer put the column lost its parallel in the photography part. I figured that out some time ago, and then I fell into the trap again. It's not the first time I've fallen into the same trap like that and gone around in a circle and go, oh shit, I figured that out already. So shows you even I make mistakes. I'm like a broken clock. I'm only right twice a day. But let's go from there. So now we see that there's 39. That's the one NIST is going at, taken out. So you see the plane that it's in. It's just further back. And let's pause it for a second. And let's resume. And that's the operator talking. And this guy's talking on the radio, telling the operator what to do. And here comes Mr. Evidence Destroyer. That is the true layout. Let's pause if we can. That appears that's the true configuration before NIST puts their paws on it. So I'll turn it way down so you can see it. It does not look like like it said, it was supposed to have 16 number 5s, 19 number 5s that have crossed it. Well, that looks like it's pretty spaced out. Looks like a normal deck, the normal decking. And the only thing stopping from puncturing, it seems like it's a little bit of concrete head cover and the 4 horns, right? The 4 horsemen. Let's go ahead and let's watch this guy get rid of some materials that are just, just bothering him. They're just kind of in his way. And then they're going to take off. Here we go, look. Look, he just grabbed, what the hell? He just grabbed a piece of wire and rebar and threw it on the ground. Right there, boom. One more time, watch. Watch this. Grab the wire, throw it away. They've already made their mind up. Kind of cool, though, is that we do get to see the bent reinforcement, but he might have just bent it, lifting it up. Let's look at it again. Just do that again. Right there. He's going to grab the rebar right here and throw it away. Right there. This is a big fucking scam. This whole report's going to be a scam. They've already made their mind up. And this data collection is just, it's going to be false data collection. He just grabbed a piece of bar and threw it away. Watch. One more time. And keep going. So they've already made their mind up. So what are you going to say? This group meeting has already taken place about what the conclusion is going to be. We don't know what it is, but it's already been concluded. Now, very importantly is, there's the car that I speculated was in there before because of the profile of the deck. There's the car there. So that gives us that certain break and elevation of the deck, the butterfly being higher at this end than the other end, or profile cracking of it. So now, after they remove that sample, you can still observe the car, and you can observe the punctured column, the puncturing shearing column, and there's your car, and that stopped the deceleration of the deck, like a spring, if you will. The tires and literally the shocks of the vehicle help decelerate it. There's a little bit of water down there to the bumper as it's crushed downwards. We don't see water even coming out to the deck, so we can figure out elevations that way. They've already took their sample out over there also of concrete. That's a missed sample on my part. Joking, right? Missed. This might be a punctured car. The vehicle in there. Hot tub. Where'd the hot tub go? It's a hot tub somewhere. Probably another vehicle. Right about there, covered over, huh? So there's our decking material. As you can see, it's pretty thick on top of this deck. And observing what appears to be a construction joint right there that possibly had steel in it. So it appears a construction joint is right there. Didn't break there, so I would assume that has, it looks wide enough to be a construction joint. Could be just a piece of rebar laying on there. Let me look at that. Could be just a piece of rebar. I'm trying to see if it, too bad, we won't know. Yeah, I can't quite make it out. I can't quite make that out, whether it's a construction joint or a piece of rebar that happens to be parallel. Well, if I follow it up with this tile here, it does break right about there. That's confirmation bias. Be careful. Tread lightly on that. Now we have the decking material drape. There's the decking material rebar, and it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Two directional. There's some punching through with the excavator, so I don't know what's going on there. Excavator's just going at it, so it could destroy a lot of materials. Doesn't move the slab, so their engagement there is just, not really there. But look, they don't care. There's the rebar. There's no workers. It's nighttime. They don't care about the data, whether the rebar is placed or not. They're just tearing it out. Look, just grab it. Watch, just grab it. There's the rebar where you could actually see how it was placed. Not needed. It's not needed. This is already determined. This is punk shear, and any of the numbers they talk about with the amount of steel and all is a lie. You see there are no NIST workers here, and it's going off into the shit can. And this guy threw away a piece of rebar, this piece of steel, so and he only took the one sample there. The rest is not there. So this is just a scam. Watch how fast forward, and you see how far they get along. Look, they're down here. They're way down here. So they don't know if they're going to bump this column. Maybe some of this guy's up there now, but you're not down there calculating. This guy's grabbing the slab. He's going to toss it. Oh, there's some of this guys. But they don't care about counting. Maybe they're this guys or whatever they are, but they don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if they start pulling out the piers now. Let's go forward. Forward. So this is where I get to do my little correction. There's my column that I said was bent over. And this is the second time I said it was bent over. And the second time I'm going to tell you that it presents as plumb. So I fell victim to the camera lens, the distortion being further out at the end of the camera, and it gives the effect of leaning over. In reality, it's plumb. So let's see. I've got that plumb right now. Literally, I have this pen plumb, but it presents as leaning over. See, as I go through the center of the camera, it now presents as plumb, and as I go out to there, to the end of the camera, it presents as leaning over. Now it's plumb. Now I go to the outside, and that presents as leaning over. And I'm not moving my hand. See it lean? Now straighten up. Lean, straighten up. So I fell victim to my own not paying attention to the lens, the distortion that happens at the outside of the lens. So that's great again. Pissed me off that I've made this twice now, this mistake twice. And now I'm going to make the same decision I made earlier. It's plumb. And then I go to the next video, which is the flyover video. And that column is back here by this umbrella on the other side, plumb, straight. This is pretty much plumb. And then we have a third one. So one by the umbrella on the other side of this planter. So this one's the video is called, so if you're going to look it up, Champlain Towers Collapse, Next Level of Failure Explained. It's on that channel. So, demystifying. So, over here again, so we have 1, 2, and now you see the third column. Once you see the third column, you're now looking at the K BMA gone, and it went down with the deck. And there's the flower box, the planter box. I believe that's the other planter box that's forward of, so you see it's forward of this BMA here, the corner piece. So as you look here, and anybody complaining about, get a steady cam, pay for my steady cam. I'll get you a steady cam. Otherwise, you're getting hand cam. You're getting hand off. All right, so there's that one that's plumb now. There's in line, there's K, the front of the building. That is that BMA connection. So there's 1, 2, there's the planter box, 3. Other planter box to the right of it, sitting on top of the column. And as I did the overlay, you saw that when I did in the other video, the overlay showing that they actually have inside there a drain. It's also an issue. So we have, sorry about that. I don't mean to really be out of focus that much, but it makes it so much easier for me to do the video this way. So there we have 1, 2, 3. So 1, contrast. Come on, camera. I'm trying to keep it in the middle for you guys so you don't get much distortion. 1, 2, 3. That's the BMA. That's the deck, along with the planter box that went down with the that planter box. Is this one right here? It's gone down with the steps. It's gone down. And aperture has gone down. I'll steady it up for a second. This planter box is what we see now, and the columns out here in front of this one. That's gone down with part of the deck. So between here, this has now gone down, which means also the cross BMA went down, which is underneath this box. So watch the box. Watch the box. Underneath the box and right behind the box is the BMA. And then here's your BMA here. So there's the BMA. Well, it's actually behind the box, right on the edge of the back ash of the box, right? There we go. So it went down, and there's the BMA that went down with it. So we're getting a hinge, a rotation from back here. I believe we're also seeing the so again, there's one behind here. So there's the crossover from the deck. You see the door. That's the second one. That's behind there. There's Georgie. Slide it open. He lays down. That's right. Georgie lays down, and that's his spot. And I'll go back to this. So, all right. So, 2 and 3. Yeah, Georgie has his own towel and all. There's the flower box, the planter box. There's the other one next to it. fractured and pull back. Now, so the back of the box would be supporting the BMA back here. And now Georgie's moved to the other end. Georgie. Want some more action? Yep, quality of life, guys. Got to take a break for a second. Yep. He's not happy till I start holding them. And I'll hold them like that. Then he'll close those beautiful eyes. And look what I can do with his paws. I can do his things for him, massage him. See that? Right between each one. Okay. Alright, so let's get back to the video. Hold on, let's watch. Watch this. Wait for it. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Told you guys to wait for it. Georgie and I love each other. Okay, Georgie? So now this is where I show you a different angle. That's the one that's middle. That's number 2. There's still number 3 back there. And I believe that's the planter box. And that's that BMA section I'm referencing. Right there where it tears out. It's like it's rebar there. There's the other box. So I have that as that BMA. There's the planter box. And I have this dark area as the back of the BMA back here going the other direction. So now Georgie permits me. I'm going to stay focused right here. I want you guys to watch it right there. I'm going to use something called shadows. I'm going to go into the shadow and bring it up. As I bring it up, it looks more like the back of the BMA right there. Okay, let's see what else we can do with it. So now I brought up the highlights, which would be the whites, and we go from there. Now I'll bring up the exposure for you. As I bring up the exposure even more, it's starting to stand out more as the BMA. The planter box is here. Could it be the face of the planter box? But what has a return like that? This is on top of the deck. This is not the BMA. This is the elevated return. I don't know. That's still pretty dark, right there. It's starting to look like the elevated return of the planter box. Let's see what else I can do with it. Let's try something a little drastic here. Okay, which one of these things don't belong? Okay, so what I did is I really made all the greens pop out. I wanted to see what's going on here. And these greens are going further than this indicator here. It's a little bit of a shelf on it. I wish I could identify that. I'll have to consider that it could be top part of the deck. That it could be part of the deck, the decking design. So now just, refine the sharpness, the greens, just everything you can grab like that. It's way pushing the colors to real aggressive contrast. I gave up on looking into the hole just now. I just wanted to see what the contrast bring out. And I can go from there. Okay, they had some steps that came off the end of their porch. I don't know if they look like that. Let's see if we can find them. So here we have the 1, 2, and 3. So we have 1, the column straight now, 2, and 3. That's on that BMA. That appears like the deck. So that's going to, that little shadow might just be my depth of my planter box behind here. And that's the step towards her. So that planter box goes here. It seems like you're stepping into the planter box. I'm not sure if I remember that. I'll have to take a look at that real quickly. That looks like it might be dipping down, and we're looking at the planter box, but it's presenting as white. That's okay. That's you know, it can present as it wants to present as. Right here, that's the other column. That's the end of the BMA though, and there's the fracture. There's the fracture. There's the fracture, the back side of it. Presents as the fracture. Let me work on this. Okay, here's one even better. There's the column. The next one's marked as 75. In front of 75 is the other column going over to there. So there it is there. And now we can make it clear that you're looking at the fracture. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm looking for cracks in the deck. Oh, we did have a crack in the deck. It was here, right? Wasn't this the crack in the deck that I've observed before? There's the BMA. It's the one that was connected to the BMA. And there's the flower box, planter box. What's this on top? Just some block. I'm pixelating on purpose. It gives me a different view. So once again, that's number 75. In front of 75 is the other column. This is that BMA one that you can see the top of. So that's 75. And then in front of 75, we see the top of it. From there, there's a 16 by 16s. So 75, the one we can see the top of. This is K line. So that is the top of the BMA we're looking at here. This one. It's ripped off. The planter box is here. That's about that level we're talking about again. And now I'll say it's probably more of the steps, and we also see that it dropped down kind of evenly. Which, you know, we'd have to have this dropping down also. There, we have the planter box kicking forward, so we have this dropping down evenly. Perhaps the drape coming through K, L, and M pulled down evenly on both of them, pulling the deck down, both sides. And that pulled the puncture around this guy here. And of course here too, we got deck down on this side, deck here, and deck here. So it pulled down all three at the same time. So all three, same time. And that gives it that balanced deck, planter box back here. So now let's go to the model and look at it. So that's the column we see. This is the 75 right behind us. And this is that BMA. Right here is that box that we see. So I'm thinking we're looking at the side of that box then, and the back of it. Not a BMA. They're below the deck. And this went down, the deck went down together. Shearing away from here, so there's no BMA there. It went down together. And, okay, so now we're getting the story. So this BMA failed also. So that gets us that drape pulling on this one, and this one I was talking about, pulling down. Now I use all types of tools to try to see zones, etc. This, I want to show you, is the punk shear. This should be what it looks like on the first level, the pool deck level, as we look down at the numbers down here. This is our punk shearing protection all around here. This is what I think these indicate, the 16 number 5s and the 19 number 5s. Back here, this should be 19 number 5s, and here would be stated as 16 number 5s and 19 number 5s, 16 5s, 19 5s, 16 5s, 19 5s, and then the reinforcement. I want you to take note, this is where the BMA was going to be. It's no longer there. As you look at everything here, all of them have punk shear protection around this area here. Except for this one. This one has no punk shear protection because it was designed initially to have a BMA across it. Interesting though, this is designed as a punk shear protected product with the materials around it. This one, and yet they also have a BMA on top. But yet this one has no such design. No punk shear protection design for it. Oh, wait a minute. Neither does, come on, really? Taking away my thunder. Neither does this one. No punk shear protection designed for it. And it's in the drawings showing that. Very interesting, right? This one and that one. So this is still my one of the largest tributary area. Was it? Yeah, I marked it off red, a lot of red. This one here. And it's not leaning. I got played by my own photography skills. But I recovered it. And the same thing I did before. It doesn't mean I won't make the same mistake in the future. I've recycled my mistakes a couple of times. So this is the one now that we see. So you got 1, 2, and 3. This is K. K is exposed. The deck went down. We see the planter box. So this now is starting to tell us that the deck was acted in a drape.